Okay, greetings everyone and welcome to Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. I'm going to welcome you to my channel, all my subscribers, my soon-to-be subscribers, and I hope you enjoy the ride when you do. All my commenters, all my scallywags, peaches, triggers, lovers, haters, each and every one of you are special to me because you visit my channel, and thank you for taking the time to do so. I did an earlier video today. I kind of went down to Dumagetti and set it up and try to do something, just set it up and talk behind. I used the microphone and hoping that it would work perfectly. But like they always say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. And Murphy's Law, what can go wrong will. I still ended up getting a lot of static. I wasn't happy with the content because, all the, uh, static. And I think I got to invest in maybe a microphone that has a cord, so this way I can hold it. I've been watching you. Like Fred Sanford would do on Sanford and Son. But what I want to talk to you about is, I'm watching videos, and the biggest thing right now is the Tupac thing and the solving of its murder, or soon to be, hopefully, and the possibility that Sean Diddy Combs might be involved in it. I know this has got nothing to do with the Philippines, but it's it just it's just what's going on right now, and it seems to be like sucking the air out of a lot of things because Tupac was very special to a lot of us. Real quick, just to give you my story with him, was that when I finally came back to New York, still moving too fast, and I had missed that whole hip hop revolution. I had missed everything about it coming out. I was involved in the Motown thing, and then I was also a pharmacist. So I wasn't paying attention to anything that was going on around me. So when I finally got to New York, in my family home basement, I finally said to myself, I said, let me check out what this hip hop is all about. And at that time, they had Rap City, I think it was. It was a station that played rap music or whatever. And one of the reasons that attracted me to it was because of Mary J. Blige and Method Man did that song, You're All I Need, which sampled, Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. And that's what kind of made me prick my ears up at it, was because it was sampling music that I had grown up with, and then they rapped on top of it. So a lot of the songs that I had liked in the beginning was because of what they were sampling. Now, when I started watching it, and I was watching it, and of course, my moving too fast. Everybody has a tweak. And my tweak was taking apart Walkmans. So, I accumulated quite a few Walkmans from the joint. No, this is before it was anyway. I accumulated quite a few Walkmans, and so I would constantly take them apart, put them or try to put them back together. Now, never could, but that was the thing that I did, to occupy, my hands, or to take the total attention off of, the moving too fast for however long it lasted. But I never could put them back together. So anyway, so while I was listening to it, I heard the song called "Dear Mama," and and it struck me because it says, you always just say, although you were a quack fiend, mama, you always be my black queen, mama. And it's a song. It was the most endearing song, about a child, you know, um, uh, who was coming up, and his mother was addicted to drugs, and and during that time, that was the state of America, because the crack epidemic had really exploded. and there was a lot of families destroyed and all that stuff because of it. And a lot of kids now were growing up with their mother who were on drugs and what have you. In fact, I used to joke when I said, man, you don't know who I am. I might be your father. I'm saying, one of those type of things. But anyway, so I heard a song, and Tupac had just got arrested, or got sentenced. He got sentenced, I think, to 5 years in Rikers Island. And so I said to myself, I never bought anyone's albums. I never, I never did that. And so, I figured, well, I'm gonna buy this brother's album, and it was called Me Against the World. And I bought it, and to my mind, it was my putting money on his books, because because I love the brothers song, and I heard a couple others, and kind of, but I never really delved into him. It's just that it just hit me. But when I got the CD, or I got the tape, at that time there were cassette tapes, and I used to play it in my car, um, uh, and I was absolutely blown away. And I was blown away from the lyrics, from Getaway, you know, um, Can You Get Away, Outlaw, you don't do a goddamn thing. You just sit by that window with your AK. I see death around the corner, and say, so much pressure in the air. That's the song that really got me, was Can You Get Away? Because that was about, a guy who was trying to pull this girl who she knew that she was being abused, or what have you, and he just wanted her, look, can you get away? Can you just get away from what's going on with you right now and spend some like quality time with me? And that's where I was at, because my moving too fast out there in the world. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'll roll up on a street entertainer and just say, hey, can you get away? And if she said yes, she would get in the car, and I would take her to the beach, man. I would take her somewhere, and we still be moving too fast, but we weren't doing it in alleyways, or in parked cars or whatever. I would take her somewhere nice and pleasant, and although we may have been causing harm to ourselves, we were doing it in a way that was a lot more enjoyable than than the way they normally do it, or the way you would visualize people, moving too fast did it. I had this thing of doing it on rooftops and climbing trees and doing it. It was unbelievable. Some of the places I come up with, to move too fast. And he is the only artist. Tupac Shakur is the only artist who profanity, his profanity didn't bother me when he was singing songs. Because I begin to understand, you know, uh, his flow, I guess you might say, or whatever. And it wasn't due to like today's music. I'm assuming, I don't listen to it. A lot of it's done for shock value, peaches and triggers and all that stuff here like this. Done for shock value. So many times you can say it or whatever, or what have you. But anyway, you know, um, so a lot of action is being sucked up about that now, and maybe some closure might come to it. And to my understanding, P Diddy might be involved in it. You know, um, you know. So I never really got deep into that culture. Now, don't get me wrong with my magazine. I've interviewed 40 Cal. I've interviewed G Unit. I've covered 50 Cents. I've managed the artists. And what have you. So, on that level, I was involved in it. But anyway, I was watching something about, black girls, and why black men are gravitating to women from other nationalities outside their own culture. And and this one woman, she was on there, and she was saying, that she said, look, you got me, here because of the way I look. You got me here because of my big breasts. I'm here because you like my fat ass. I'm here because you like how I look. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to bring nothing to the table. I don't have to do nothing for you. I don't have to cook for you because you will have to cook anyway if you by yourself. Yeah, I don't have to wash your clothes because you're gonna have to wash your clothes if you were by yourself. So I don't have to bring nothing to the table because what I'm bringing to you is my physical characteristics. And it made me stop and wonder that you know that how true that could be about black women. Is that it's about what you can do for me. You know, you have enough money for me, or what have you. I have to do nothing for you. And black men don't like that. Black men you know, are starting to distance themselves from that type of woman. Now, I know me personally, I've never had a long lasting relationship with a black woman. You know, the only one I had was Cookie. And I don't know if I told you about her, but I'll touch on it briefly. I have time. I used to work at Ford Motor Company, and I work utility, which means I worked on different jobs. And Cookie worked on once the car rolled down uh, the line, a suction would put the back windshield on onto the car, and it was Cookie's job to put the glue around the frame of the car and like that. And my job was inside because it had a string in there, and the string was between the rubber, so that when you pull the string, the rubber would suck on the inside and outside of the car, so it would create a seal. You know, and that's what I did. And so for 8 hours, 8 hours, I watched Cookie's breasts press up against that window and put that seal around that car. And I'm like, oh man, oh man, oh man. So she was on a job. And I believe I can get any woman as long as she's on a job. So I pulled Cookie. Now, we were such a mixed match that people, you know, we didn't want to tell people we were going together because, people would say, what, you and him? And then say, wow, you got her? Like that. So it was played up that I was a cousin, so anyway, Cookie would, come over my house and we would, she would spend a night or at my mother's, where I was at that time before we got an apartment. And I used to be so excited about her, so physically excited about her, that I would usually go in the bathroom and Lolo. For some of you who don't know what Lolo is, I used to go in and, and relieve myself. So this way, when I come back and we were intimate together, it wouldn't happen so fast. There was a little time behind it, and that's how our relationship was. Now, her and I decided to move in together. We moved to a nice apartment on 101st in Amsterdam, which is right across from a police precinct there or whatever. And it was nice. Now, what happened with that relationship is that Cookie had two daughters. They were teenagers. And the father had decided that he wasn't no longer going to take care of the kids and decided Cookie, I forgot if I one important part. I had a beautiful 1995 Mark Lincoln Mark V. It was a beautiful. I'm gonna put a picture right here. That was my shit. That was my car. That's how I rolled. You know what I'm saying? And